Okay, the last thing people want to deal with is a threatening letter from the collection agency, of course. But if you have past credit card debt, you are likely not to get one of those.
Yeah, collection letters are on the rise again, and while you may not want to deal with it, ignoring those letters could turn out to be a real disaster. Action 13's Jeff Ealing is here with the details. You know, Jeff, a lot of times we just want to forget this debt ever happened.
Yeah, you want to forget it, but the debt collection company wants you to remind you about it. The recession of 2008 put a lot of people out of work, and it really did force some folks to make some very tough decisions about which debts got paid and which ones went to collections. Well, if you decided to skip the credit card payment, don't be surprised if you get a letter threatening to take you to court.
Carla Aparicio has all but stopped using credit cards.
Because too much debt.
While Aparicio always pays off her credit card bills, millions of Americans cannot say the same thing. For those who stopped making payments when the economy crashed in 2008, a letter from a debt collector is probably on the way.
A lot of these debts are turning into lawsuits now.
Attorney Michael Weston represents hundreds of people who are now getting letters from debt collectors threatening legal action. Incredibly, Weston says most people simply ignore the letters.
So there's a huge influx of cases. Probably 90% of the consumers that get these lawsuits don't even respond to them.
If you do not respond, debt collectors will get a default judgment against you, which can lead to huge problems.
With a judgment, creditors in Texas can actually garnish your bank accounts. They can clean out your bank account. And a lot of people say, well, I don't have anything, but maybe that's your mortgage payment for the month.
Weston adds if you have a judgment against you, buying or selling a home could be delayed until the judgment is paid off. Weston adds some debt collection letters are being filed by companies that claim to be reviewing the payment history, when in reality the companies are signing affidavits while doing little research.
They're basically robo-signing these affidavits, 300 to 400 a day, claiming that people owe this money.
The Texas Attorney General's office is suing debt collectors over robo-signing. One company filed more than 60,000 debt collection lawsuits in Texas, and the AG says many of the affidavits supporting those lawsuits contain errors.
All right, so if you get a threatening letter from a debt collector, find out what the debt is, find out how long it's been, because you may be able to get the case thrown out. But if you ignore the letter and it goes to court, you're probably going to get a ruling against you. No one is saying not to pay your bills. Let me just say that right out. If you owe the money, you should pay it. But the AG is saying that in some cases, some of these lawsuits that are coming out of some of these companies are on old debt or debt that you cannot be sued for. Reporting live, Jeff Ealing, 13 Eyewitness News.